What's up, everybody? Welcome to Philly with John Marks on PHLY. As always, presented by Bet Parks and Central City Toyota. We're live on a Wednesday morning. Shout out to all our 8 a.m.ers, our live chatters that join us live every Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 a.m. right here on PHLY. But, of course, you can watch whenever, view whenever. Just subscribe and like and comment. Yes, comment. If you're not watching live and you're watching the episode later, we invite you to comment about our discussion and like it and get involved in the show. But live every morning from 8 to 9 a.m. A lot to talk about today. And we're joined in studio, a special guest. And he's actually been on the show before. But he joins us for the entire hour. He's from CBS 3. Mm-hmm. You're not Eyewitness News anymore?
We're not Eyewitness
no,
News. We're
CBS 3
News Philadelphia.
That's right. Pat Gallen joins us. Pat, how are you?
Buddy?
Hello.
I'm great. Thanks for inviting me in. This is I had so much fun last time that you asked me to come in a year later. How long was it? It's been a while.
A year later. I feel bad because you have kids, young kids and stuff, and you're like very, very busy, serious TV journalist, as we'll see coming up in a little bit. But yeah, sorry, and you've made me self-conscious because anybody that watches this show on a regular basis knows that I hate the setup and I hate these chairs.
Yeah.
And I didn't lead you into anything.
You didn't.
Unsolicited said, these chairs are really weird.
They're comfortable.
No, they're not.
I'm not saying they're uncomfortable. They're just not the best chair for what you're doing, I don't think.
No.
Having done this on camera now for many years.
You're not a schmo like me. No, like look at you. You're handsome. You're gorgeous, Pat.
I appreciate
no, but
that.
seriously,
Thank
I say this all the time. I feel like that I'm slumped over, which I am, and then I try to sit upright. But if I was 6'4", 220, this chair wouldn't be as bad.
It'd be perfect.
And then you said I need a pillow, and you're right. I need something behind there to sit me up a little
we got to
bit.
sit upright a little bit, right?
Why didn't I think of that?
Work on the core.
Jesus God, why didn't I think of that? What's up, Pat?
Not much, man. You know, busy. I thought because in my world, it's like Eagles and then everything else, which it is for you guys a little bit too. But
right.
I thought after the football season ended, I'll be relaxing, kind of skate into the spring and summer. I feel like I'm more busy now than maybe even during football season.
Yeah, it's the cycle. Like when you're in radio, you see a lot of radio people that after the Super Bowl, because it's in their contract, they take off a week, and it's like the week break that they have or whatever.
Yeah,
I never actually did that. I wish I would have done that next time.
Right. Yeah.
Next time I did it. But
too.
yeah, like you go right in when you win the Super Bowl and then you have the parade. That's when you're normally taking a little bit of a rest.
Yep.
You didn't have that this year.
No, I didn't have any of that,
which is a good thing. And honestly, you were out in Minneapolis. We actually had dinner. Do you remember the dinner that we had?
The one with Cordell Stewart.
Yes. Pat. I've talked about this before. Yeah, Pat and I had dinner with Andrew Bach, who was an executive for TuneIn, and Cordell Stewart. Andrew's a Philly guy, and is a big Philly sports media guy.
Yep.
And yeah, so like Cordell Stewart's like gripping up, feeling my shirt, telling me that I got this shirt on the Bloomingdale's app, and it was a nice shirt too. I still have it. He was like being like, man, I really like that shirt.
That was one of those moments where you're like, I'm at the Super Bowl. I just roll up and we're having drinks with Cordell Stewart. Yeah. It was wild. That was so fun.
It was so much fun. But to the point, when you do what you do, or I mean, you work a hell of a lot harder than I do. When you're at the Super Bowl, even if you're not doing it constantly, I would do my 4 hours of radio. I would get there early and record an interview or two, and then I'm at the bar drinking. You can't do that. No. You're doing an 11 o'clock live shot.
Yeah, we work basically all day long when we're at an event like that. So here, the last one in New Orleans, you're getting up, you're trying to figure out what stories you're doing for the day. If you didn't have something set up already, which a lot of the time we do, and then you're working, and then the crazy part is like you're on Bourbon Street on a Friday night trying to work.
Yeah, so
people throwing stuff at you, beads, that whole thing.
How was New Orleans? Minnesota was kind of its own entity. Like you can't even compare. And I thought that was great, but it is what it is.
Well, I mean, just two completely different cities. The weather was completely different. Yeah. It was 80 and beautiful in New Orleans. I would much rather have it there than have to be in a mall for
and it's set up. New Orleans is set up perfectly. The size of the city and getting around, everybody says that it's perfect.
Yeah,
for
and
that.
you're out and about, and you get to see all these different things. And as we got closer to the game on Super Bowl weekend, like Friday night, we had this amazing setup thanks to our buddy David Dodge. Remember, Dave,
of course.
Yeah, Dave Keller had an amazing setup on Bourbon Street, 3 floors up, looking over everything going on. We did our shows from there. We had some specials we had to do, but it was a whirlwind, man. And then they win, and then the parade. It was a blast. But I'm like still feeling the after effects of that, even all these weeks later. Hard to catch up when you're old like me.
Yeah, and you're old. And by the way, Pat will be live tonight doing the 4, 5, and 6 o'clock news.
Correct.
What?
That's correct.
Like, I remember you on top of you were in a Wawa parking lot on top of a big mound of snow.
Yeah.
When you were getting your start at CBS 3.
It's been 10 years?
Dude, I remember watching.
2015.
I was saying this to Tyler this morning. I remember because we did radio together for a long time, and you were trying to get your break in the TV, and that I guess was your first big break where you were a freelancer, right?
I was, yeah. So I left the Fanatic earlier that year, and then CBS brought me in as a freelance sports reporter. And so I was like, the third wheel, and I got used a lot because I would tell good stories, and they needed someone at that time. And then they revamped their morning show in early 2016, so about 7 or 8 months after I got there. So I was like the guy on the morning show that was doing all the fun stuff, like riding roller coasters,
hot yoga,
the whole 9 yards, and that was a lot of fun. But that was you're right. That was like the moment that they were like, "Oh, you're actually pretty good at this." So I did the snow coverage for
why
12 straight hours. That's all I did was talk.
But you know why? Because you did radio.
Exactly. I tell everyone that. I go to a class or something. I'm like, the best thing I ever did before I got into TV was radio. Because now, for instance, during the parade, this last parade, they had me walk the entire length of the parade.
Behind the buses?
With the buses. It was like 10 miles, me and my camera guy. But it was amazing because they had me on for like 25 straight minutes. And all I did was talk about what I'm seeing, what I've done, the players that I've interviewed throughout the year. Radio set me up for that perfectly.
Yeah.
If I hadn't done radio, there's no way I would have been able to do that.
That's why you're at the Wawa and you're on top of a big snow bank, and you're talking for 3 minutes, and it's like, wow, this guy knows what he's doing. So you got your big break with the snow coverage, and you did mornings. Now you're I've
been back doing sports now full time for several years.
Well, since the Super Bowl at least.
Since the pandemic kind of changed things too.
Well, let's send it down to Pat Gallen. He's live at Chickies and Pete's getting fan reaction in our team coverage. Pat, what's going on down in South Philly?
That's when you look away from the camera, you put your finger in your ear, you go, "Hey, John, yeah, we are live here."
You do it great. All right, so big Philly show today. So everybody, just stay tuned. We don't do this now, we probably won't get to it because you have the gallon of questions, which you do on your show.
Yeah. So my show is called A Gallon of Questions, and what I do is I've got this can, it's got the stickers all over it, and I just fill it with random questions. And I've found that over the years that it's just an easy way to go in whatever direction.
Cool
you can talk about cool stuff because everyone sees it, they laugh, they go, "This is ridiculous,"
right?
And then they stick their hand in there, and you never know. So, do you want to do this now?
No. We'll do that.
You want to do this
Block
later?
C.
Okay. Why don't you just grab it? Just grab one though.
Is that clean?
I've never cleaned this thing one time. This thing's been everywhere too.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I still had the airport.
Has it been
tag on.
sanitized? Better Parade 2018 or 2025? Now, see, I should ask you this.
Did you not go to either?
I went to 18.
Yeah,
I was on the bus in 18.
Oh, you were?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I didn't need to go to 25. I was in the friggin' parade.
Oh.
I didn't
Going like
no,
this.
believe me. If
John
it
Marks on the
would have
bus.
taken me $1,000 to even go to the parade. I wanted. I'm telling you, it was cold that day. No, I'm cool.
This one was better.
I got my parade. Yeah, a lot of people said that, and I enjoyed watching it on TV.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the coverage. It was great.
The weather was better. I saw it obviously from a different vantage point. I was actually at the Art Museum in 2018, just stationary. This one, like I said, I walked the whole thing, which was, I was exhausted by the end. But you get to see things that literally no one else gets to see.
Well,
when you're
I'm
walking
taking a
with them.
video going around City Hall from the top of the bus, and I was on with I don't know if it was the defensive backs or the running backs because they switched. Like they were all over the place.
all over the place.
But and just coming around City Hall, and like you don't realize it when you're taking it. It doesn't look real because there's a couple 100,000 people that are just all the way back. A sea of people.
It's like a wall of people.
It's so impressive to see. It doesn't look real. And then all the way down the parkway, as far as you can see, there's just people and being on top of a bus. And then I start getting hit with beer cans. We were talking about this before Howie got nailed in the head.
Yep.
I got hit in the head multiple times being on the top of that bus because your head's on a swivel. You hit in the back of the head with a beer can that's coming over the other side.
I watched this was right before it happened to Howie, a highway patrol officer because they had bike cops along the route with them. smoked. Luckily, he was wearing a helmet. He got hit right in the head with a beer can, and it just exploded everywhere. And I'm like, this is getting a little bit dangerous here. And then, of course, Howie got cracked right in the face with one.
Which it's the whole lore of Howie Roseman now. He gets
course.
hit with a beer can in the head. All right, this portion of the program brought to you by Glatt Hair Restoration, glatthairmm.com, 610-980-4000. Pat has TV anchor hair. Yeah. Is that a
I remember reading those,
Sam Malone
doing
wig
those
or
reads
no?
back at the Fanatic, though, about Dr. Glatt way back.
They were a
Dr.
big
Glatt.
sponsor of the show right
Still
here.
rocking.
Absolutely. I mean, look at my hair, dude.
Looks good, man.
All right, so Mr. Unlimited, and we have a lot of Phillies talk today, so don't go anywhere on it. Mr. Unlimited signed with the Giants yesterday. The hell are the Giants doing? It's the best thing ever. Dude, the Eagles are running the NFL. These terrible organizations like the Giants have no idea what they're doing. The Eagles literally are writing the book. This is what you do in the NFL in 2025. They know, like the NFL knows it. The other fans know it, and they're terrified of it.
When John Mara wakes up in the morning and he realizes that Joe Shane is his general manager, what does he say on a daily basis? Like, what have you done to my team?
Jerry Jones
He's still got a job, too.
Jerry Jones doesn't want to spend money. The Giants are totally inept. Washington's going to be a good team. But like the Eagles are like, yeah, like Joe Burrow's like, I want to do what Philly does. They sign everybody. Now Joe Burrow gets whatever he wants. The Eagles are changing the way the business is done in the NFL. But Russell Wilson and the Giants, can we just hear from Mr. Unlimited? This is the guy that they're getting to be their quarterback, maybe for this season. Who knows? It's for the there we go. Let's see if we can. Oh, there it is. Mr. Unlimited. Is he talking on or is it just the whatever? Unlimited. Unlimited.
The Giants just keep giving us things to talk about.
Yep.
I love it.
I love Russell Wilson because he's that cheesy. His teammates hate him, and he sucks. And they signed Jameis Winston, which is like a good move. It's $4 million a year. He's not a bad backup quarterback.
No, he's fine.
Or a bridge quarterback to lose games.
What do you think that they dislike most about Russell Wilson? It's just like the cornball factor.
Yeah. Well, so he goes to Denver. They trade for him, and he has his own office, like outside of the football area. He has like an office, like he's the president of the team, and that was contractually asked for. So you tell me, a guy that's what he's looking for.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you're looking for in a contract, hey, I need my own office. I'm the quarterback.
Yeah.
What do you think the guys on defense? What the defensive players in Seattle hated him if he's like that?
Stunk anyway. Yeah.
And now he can't. And now he's not very good.
This is a weird move. What's the point of this for the Giants? Like, what?
Why
just play Jameis? Let him throw his 35 interceptions and 30 touchdowns. Go 3-14. Draft a quarterback. Bring him in next year. I don't understand why this is so hard.
Or don't draft. Like, if they don't like Shedeur Sanders, or they think that
maybe they don't like him.
If they don't like him, or if Cleveland is going to take him, or maybe the Raiders are looking to trade.
Maybe.
If they found out, hey, we're not 100% sold on him, and it looks like he's going second overall, which wouldn't surprise me. Now they're saying, like, all right, what do we do? And they want to make sure they have a bona fide starter. Russell Wilson's better than Jameis Winston, but like at this point, he's just a game manager.
So now you're going to win 6 games instead of 3. You're only hurting yourself.
But see, here's what I would do, and here's the problem with keeping the head coach and the GM, because they don't want to win 3 games next year. If you win 3 games, you might have the number 1 overall pick. And then you get your quarterback next year.
Yes.
What do you care about? Like, so now you're going to win, like you said, 7 games. Now you're going to pick 8th or 9th instead of 2nd or 1st or 3rd to where you could get a quarterback. It's so dumb. And I love it. Well, because now we get to have Russell Wilson in division for maybe 2 games. Do we have it now, Mr. Unlimited?
Hey guys, Russell here. Yes, the typical boring, Russell, the robot Russell, the one you guys love to know. Real exciting. I'm real excited. But anyways, everybody has to have an alter ego, right? And I've been thinking about what my alter ego would be, and I think I have an alter ego. His name's Mr. Unlimited. Yeah, you gotta be unlimited. You gotta have a thought process of being unlimited.
All right, so can you pause it, Tyler, for a second for it? Who is this? Who does he think he's making this video for?
I don't know. I just think these guys have too much time on their hands outside of the game. What are you talking about?
He thought it was cool, though. Or, like, is he playing into this I'm a cheese ball type guy? Because Jameis Winston, I mean, by the way, Jameis Winston's the best guy ever. He went from being a thief. Now everybody in the NFL loves him.
Yeah.
He's
hilarious, though.
Because they do. But guys like him. Guys don't like Russell Wilson. He does the Mr. Unlimited thing.
That's so, yeah.
And then Ciara's going, but Russell. Wait, I forget what she even says in it. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited. Where does that come from? Is that a thing?
That's what,
That I don't
that's
know
what I'm
about?
saying.
Is that on TikTok or something? I'm not on TikTok.
Tyler, you were asking me before the
Yeah.
show. You say like, well, like what is it? Where's the unlimited thing come? I don't think it comes from anything.
That's the thing. Is it a shtick? Is it like, does he really truly believe that? Like, that's the weird part to me is like, where does this come from?
Now he's in the NFC East this year, which is great. He won't see both games for being the quarterback of the Giants. They may win 6 games. He doesn't suck. He's a low end starter.
Yeah.
That's why he's available right now.
I think this just points to, look, how I don't want to say how poorly the Giants are run. I don't know, John.
They're
Mara.
so poor.
But
They
they seem from the outside pretty poorly run. But it also kind of points to how well the Eagles are run and how that starts with your owner, with the owner who's willing to do whatever it takes. And when things go bad, make the necessary moves or not. Look, we got on them before last year. Nick Sirianni, would he stay? Would he go? He made the right move. They end up winning the Super Bowl, all as well. But I think it goes beyond that. It goes like more to, I'm sure, you know, the football guys here, Zach and Bo, have talked about like how he's so willing to pay the cash up front to renegotiate these contracts.
to get more cap room.
Yeah, there
Sign
aren't a
more
lot of
players.
owners that are willing to do that around the NFL, but it is why the Eagles are in the position they're in right now, and the Giants are where they are.
And Joe Burrow says, why can't we do this? And now the Bengals are pressured, the ownership's pressured to do it because the Eagles are letting everybody in on a dirty secret, which is it's very easy to manipulate the cap if you want to. But a franchise like the Bengals or even Jerry Jones, if you pay guys every Tuesday, you collect interest on that all offseason. We're talking about millions and millions of dollars. That's a lot of money. That's not the nickel that I get every month from my TD Bank savings, right? Or my TrueMark Financial. Well, they give a higher yield, but you get what I'm saying.
I do.
So like, yeah, Jerry doesn't. You're like, we can't afford it. You can't afford it. They didn't pay Derrick Henry $9 million guaranteed last year. He got $9 million guaranteed from Baltimore. They guaranteed Ezekiel Elliott $3 million. So that's just gross negligence from a football standpoint. But they cried poor afterwards. You give them a 4-year contract and you guarantee him the same amount of money. These contracts are BS. Howie's proven that.
In
It's
essence,
amazing.
You end up getting what you pay for. And I think that this all proves just how well run the Eagles are.
And to your point, and you can't do it unless you draft good players and
Also
you
that.
acquire good players. But even when the Eagles didn't draft well, remember, they went through a pocket there after the first Super Bowl where they had some bad drafts. They had less draft picks as well.
Yep.
But then he's trying to make up for it in free agency, and then you're spending your big dollars in free agency. And Howie's also good at doing that. But then when you have this much young talent and you say, oh, we'll just resign our own guys.
Yeah, but you're right. You can't buy your way out of problems in the NFL.
hard.
You can sprinkle that on top of the cake that you've already made, but you
It's a
can't buy
finisher.
you can't buy your way out. These tables, man. Can we talk about this?
Yeah, this is the...
I don't mean to come. No.
No,
This is lovely.
No, this place is amazing except for certain things like the chairs, the Wayfair chairs.
The chairs are great.
And by the way, Wayfair's fine. You know, like I've had
No, the chairs are comfortable.
you know,
It's just
like-
not.
my
all right.
the stuff on my decks from Wayfair.
I'm a
that-
guest here too. I don't want to.
All right, coming up. All right. Phillies fever. You kidding me? The Phillies? Opening day is tomorrow? Will CBS 3's Pat Gallen be involved in opening day? It doesn't sound like it if he's doing three newscasts
I'll
tonight.
be there.
You'll be in Washington?
Oh no. I thought you meant home opener. No, I won't be in Washington.
Yeah.
I'm off on Thursday.
But you work all weekend, right?
I do.
Yeah, you work all weekend. Yeah, you should be off on Thursday.
Yep.
Opening day tomorrow. How are we feeling about the Phils? And I got a message for all you people out there that are wagging your finger at Phillies fans that maybe aren't as juiced up for the season as you. I got something to say. That's coming up. Philly with John Marks. Do not go anywhere. Back in 2 and 2. All right. So listen, let's talk about Central City Toyota. Actually, Uncle Jamie had messaged me yesterday, so I gotta get him on the program maybe tomorrow. But Central City Toyota, it's coming up on springtime, right? And there's not a better time to upgrade your ride, and you can do that at Central City Toyota and their sister dealership, Ardmore Toyota, in Ardmore, by the way. New Toyotas, certified, ton of inventory right now. Prices are right there. So check out their entire inventory, centralcitytoyota.com. And my Uncle Jamie is the general manager of Central City Toyota. So if you work in Center City, maybe you live in a city like Pat's in Center City, and you're like, where do I take my car to get serviced, right? Well, Central City Toyota in the heart of University City, 55 years on Chestnut Street, the largest parts and service dealership in the entire city of Philadelphia. And they offer this service. And they'll shuttle you to Center City or back to your house if you want to get your car serviced. But by an appointment basis only, just get to the website, centralcitytoyota.com. Schedule an appointment. They'll come and pick your car up from your home or from your work. Pat, Central City Toyota will come to your home and grab your car or your wife's car, and then you get the proper service or repair done, then they drop it back off. It's like it never happened.
It's awesome.
CentralCityToyota.com. Just kick open the door on Chestnut Street and say, where's Uncle Jamie? CentralCityToyota.com. True Mark Financial. I was just talking about this when I talked about the bank and their measly yield that you get on savings accounts. Don't do that. Spring into savings at TrueMark Financial Credit Union. If you have financial goals, whether you're buying a house, taking that dream vacation, or building your emergency fund, and I need to do this because my kids really want to go to Disney, and I haven't taken them to Disney, and my wife reminds me that we haven't been to Disney with the kids, and my kids remind me that I haven't been to Disney because all of their friends go to Disney. So I need to start taking advantage of
pressure, Dad.
Bro. TrueMark Financial Credit Union has the perfect savings account for you, offering high-rate certificates and money market accounts. You're crazy if you're just leaving your money in the savings account. You're not making money. Your money can grow faster and work harder for you. Visit TrueMark.com for rates and to learn more. Federally insured by the NCUA. Rates are subject to change. Hooah! We're back. Pat Gallen from CBS 3.
Hey-o.
So when one of my first memories of Channel 3 is not my first memories, but when I first started getting into the news, because I loved news growing up. I was a media kid. I'm a media kid. And it was Yuki, who now is like GOAT
our main
status
guy. He's the best.
in Philly. He was the weekend sports guy. Similar to you, except I think like you did more non-sports stuff than Yuki did at that time.
Yeah.
But now you're also like you do full-time sports. And the jingle, I'm a jingle guy. I don't know if people know that. The jingle was Lou Tilly weekdays. Do 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 do. Yuki Washington weekends win a what a win. Channel 3 more sports din.
I miss the days of the jingle. We don't have jingles anymore.
We don't do jingles anymore.
We don't do jingles anymore. That's a good
kills
one.
me. It was great, and Yuki was the young, and I was like, that guy's awesome. I love him.
best.
And then to watch him go through the ranks,
Yep,
and then Lou moved on, and he's been doing stuff for a while. But Lou is definitely like
Lou Tilly, also Northeast High. I went to Northeast High.
bro. There are so many.
A hotbed.
So many. Howard.
Howard.
Like
went to
people look at
Northeast.
Howard Eskin and they like to crap on him for whatever reasons, but like Howard's a true Philly guy.
Still, from Northeast. Went to Northeast High. And Carl Churkin. Remember Carl Churkin?
Who
from
is
Fox
big
29?
with the Union?
Who's with the Union now. So,
Yeah.
4 sports anchors in Philadelphia came from Northeast High School. What are the odds? What are the odds?
My God.
A
All right.
hotbed.
I actually got you confused because I'm like he played with Kyle Lowry at Doherty, but you didn't go to Doherty. You went
No, I
to
went to Northeast.
You went to Northeast.
Yeah, he
High.
played there
Did
before.
Kyle play? Kyle played at
He played at Northeast, yeah. People don't remember that because he played there his freshman and sophomore years before he transferred to Doherty, junior, senior.
And were you on the team with him?
I was on the team with him.
Were
I
you
was
a year
a
behind
senior.
him? Are you sure you're ahead
I'm
of him?
older than him, yeah. I was a senior. He was a
man.
sophomore.
Larry can barely walk anymore on the court.
I know.
You're older
I
than
know.
him.
I feel it. I can barely walk anymore.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. All right, so Phillies.
Yes.
And we'll talk more about the opener tomorrow. And it's like the home opener is when you really rejoice because it's going to be chilly tomorrow in Washington, and there's no way the hell I'm driving down there for the game. So Monday's the home opener.
I think it's supposed to be chilly here for the home opener.
It's not supposed to be nice. It's March, dude.
It stinks.
Yeah. But anyway, I remember as a kid going down, cutting school and going to the home opener. But anyway, there's been a lot of talk and this week finally about the Phillies. And you know what? Everybody wants to take a dump on Joe Giglio and what he's saying about the Phillies. At least he got people talking about the damn team. Because there was
What's he saying now? Can you?
Oh, you don't know
I
what he's
haven't
saying?
heard this, no.
So Joe Giglio, I don't know what he said, but their Twitter account, and you know how that can be taken out of context. The Twitter question of the day was, are you putting Rob Thompson on the hot seat? Oh, mean WIP. Ah, right? So people were all pissed off. And they're like, the Eagles just won the Super Bowl. Why are we going into the season with this attitude? And yesterday, Joe said that he's going to personally hold the Phillies accountable every game, every week, every month. I'm paraphrasing during the season. And like I had retweeted it and say, that sounds like a lot of fun. But at least it got us talking about the season. It did. Because now you have Phillies defenders that are coming out and being like, why are we being so negative? Like, this is a really good Phillies team. And I'll say this to everybody wagging their finger at Joe Giglio and everybody else right now. Do you really feel good about this team outside of the canned responses of, well, look at their starting rotation? Well, they still have a veteran lineup. It's a very good lineup, which, by the way, are true. But to me, I wonder, is this a chemistry issue? Are these guys just spooked when it comes to better pitching? Because baseball's so mental, dude. Like, what I saw wasn't the Mets being a better team than the Phillies. It's that the Phillies weren't playing well. They didn't play well the whole second half of the season. They're talented enough to do it.
Right.
So I have real questions about it too. And I don't feel bad because I'm not going in this season skipping down the lane.
Well, I think you need to be a little bit more positive. How many times has someone said that to you in your life?
A lot.
A lot.
But I can say I think they win 90 plus games.
Yeah.
But also I don't know. I don't know. I'm worried that were you down at spring training?
I did not go this year.
But you were paying attention.
Yeah.
I was paying attention. Did it seem like there was a confident group down there? Were they loose? Were they being like, yeah, like, listen, disappointing end of the year, but like we're ready to go?
Workman-like. It just seemed like a very basic spring training, like get us to the regular season. We know what the issues are. We're going to try to fix them as we go here.
I don't like that.
What do you want to see? You want to see guys doing backflips?
No,
hooray, hurrah?
no. I want to see a mission and a common goal of.
But I think everybody knows what the common goal is. It doesn't really have to be spoken at this.
But do they believe it?
Time.
So listen, Alec.
Well,
Bohm,
that I don't know.
Alec Bohm got shopped for good reason. He was obviously a chemistry issue in the clubhouse. Would you agree with that? I mean, like he comes back after not being traded. And
I can't speak to like the day to day, but I know that I saw him, and especially toward the end of the year, he was sullen. He was miserable. It did not look like he was having much fun.
Well, I can tell you based on the people that I talked to that not that he's a bad guy, not that guys didn't like him,
right.
But if people are talking behind your back because of the way you're acting and acting like that's a problem.
Yeah, it can weigh on a team.
That's a problem. So like, I'm not telling you he can't change. I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out what the hell happened against the Diamondbacks. To me, that was an adjustment that was made and the Phillies had no answer.
Right.
But the second half of last season, they were a 500 team essentially. And it looked like that in the playoffs. So
because when you are the way the Phillies are during the regular season, it gets masked because when you're talking about it in game 107, it doesn't matter as much.
And their
But when you
starting pitching's
condense
great.
when you condense it and you're going against a great team for 7 games, those issues are magnified. Are they going to be able to fix it? Nobody knows until you get to that point. I will agree. I wish that they had brought in someone that could have given them a little bit of a spark of rejuvenation. They didn't
tried.
do that. Here they are. But I still think I would rather it be a fun summer where we're talking about the positives of the team than have to deal. Look, you and I grew up in an era where Phillies baseball was a disaster. I'd much rather it be this way where I go into spring and summer feeling like, all right, we got a 92-win team. That's fun. They're going to, they'll beat up on the Braves and the Mets and it'll be a fun NL East. I would much rather it be this way.
yeah, well, of course. I the one year I did nights at WIP, the one Phillies season I did nights was a Pete McCanning year. So believe me, I know how long a baseball season can be. It's
Jeremy Hellickson opening day start.
Like they were bad, but it set him up for this.
He got two.
Two,
Not just one. He got two.
He did.
Not just one.
So Tyler, I think you have an idea of what I'm feeling right now, which isn't, and we've been over this many times. This is a good baseball team. Yeah. This is an excellent rotation. Like if we're talking about positives on the Phillies team, they may have the best starting rotation, if not the second or the third best.
Yes.
A little bit worried about their bullpen. I think they'll figure that out. But Tyler, I've said this a couple times out. The season starts tomorrow. We can't just say, all right, hurry up and get to the playoffs. The season's 6 months long. It doesn't work like that. Like you do have to enjoy the season. But if I'm being honest, I sense not like the excitement isn't palpable. It doesn't mean people are being negative. It's just people have seen the same thing that I've seen the last 2 years. Yeah. which has been disappointing.
Well, I think the one thing that the comp to me, the way that it feels right now is the way that 2011 felt going into that season. And I'm not going to compare the two because I think 2011 is the best Phillies team maybe to ever exist.
Yeah.
And
Pop your head up or something so we can see you.
All right, let's see if we could do this real quick. There we go. There we go. We got the sun behind me
Oh,
again.
all right. I got you.
The feel heading into 2011 was that hurry up and get to the playoffs because it felt like a foregone conclusion that this team was going to be good, and maybe that was to a farther extreme because of the fact that that team had World Series, like definitive World Series aspirations. Roy Halladay, Cliff Lee, the rotation was unbelievable, and I think a lot of people feel that same way. Where this is we talked about it yesterday. The floor is postseason, and when your floor is postseason, I think a lot of people say, does April matter? Does June matter? Does, I'll check in at the trade deadline, more consistently. And I like you said, it's a long season, but that's not a way I can't live that way because of the fact that, I want to enjoy the season.
Yeah.
Should still be a good team. Are they a championship caliber team? They could be. And that's where you and I went in the split yesterday, John, of like, will they versus could they? Will they win the World Series? I don't think they do. Could they win a World Series? Yes, they could. They're good enough to do it.
Isn't that what you want when you go into a season? Do you have a team that has the possibility
They
of
have
winning
a
championship?
realistic chance, realistic chance
that's
of
all
winning a
you
World
can
Series.
ask for. What happens during the season, we find out they're not as good as the Dodgers. Everyone knows that. And they're probably not as good as the Braves.
But why do I have to have pom-poms out to start the season and say something that I don't believe, which is that I have questions about the way they finished last year that are more than just that are not only a combination of age, the lack of diversity that's in the lineup as far as what they do, how they live and die with the long ball. Trey Turner has killed them with how cold he gets, right? Like those are real things. And I can say that going into the season without being like, yay, Phillies, woo, let's go. Like, sorry.
Well, you choose to live your life
Sorry.
one way,
Bro,
and others
listen,
choose to live it
if you're going to ask me to have the ups and downs of a season, and I remember in 2009, because doing Talking Baseball with Dutch, you're living and dying. Those years, you live and die with almost every game. Halliday's first year, the four aces when Lee came in, it was like a football game when those guys pitched.
09 was a weird year because Lidge was terrible.
Carry the
And
7
Hamels wasn't very good, and yet they still made it back.
made the World Series.
That's how good that offense
Their
was.
offense carried the team.
Yeah.
But they win 92 games but like their offense were, remember Ibanez?
Yeah.
He was a monster.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Gonzo insinuated it's okay to have questions about Ibanez being on PEDs? He's the only guy that
I
had balls to say it. And like he didn't accuse him at all. I thought he handled it really, really well.
I don't remember
Because
that.
listen, he was 30. How old was he? 38?
He was like 39, at the end of
and he was putting up career numbers?
Yeah, he was.
What do you think was going on? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know anything firsthand. Like, after living the steroid era, how would you at least not suspect that was a possibility? But not to make that a topic. But their offense was awesome. Howard was still prime Howard.
Yep.
Chase Utley. Chase had the World Series in New York where he was smashing home runs.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was amazing. Anyway, so like,
come on.
No.
Be a little more positive. It's not going to kill you.
not today. No, because it's not me, because I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine with my attitude towards the Phillies and how I will follow and be a fan of the Phillies. It's all the people out there that are like, we just won the Super Bowl, be happy. Oh, shut up. It's a separate entity.
It doesn't have to be. Why can't you just roll that into Phillies season a little bit? We're still feeling good as a city. We're on a high.
The Diamondbacks loss in the NLCS 2 years ago still stays with me. Still stays with me. And the way they ended that second half last year is troubling. And I'm just going to say this. If they come out slow, that's a chemistry problem to me. That's guys that are like, you got to be ready to come in, and it's a long season and it starts in March. I get it. But like you said, it's kind of business as usual. Okay, I'd like to see a little smark, a little more personality, a little more attitude out of these guys, feeling good. We'll see.
But they just don't really have that mentality anyway. I mean, who of that clubhouse you're like, that's the guy. That's the spark.
He's not the spark,
but
he's the guy.
He's not excitable. He's great and he's an awesome quote and all that, but not like a Lindor. We don't have that kind of
Jimmy from back in the day.
Yeah, Jimmy back in the day. We don't have that kind of
Odubel
player here. Raul Ibanez, Odubel, we're breaking them off
So,
today.
Tyler, I'm going to throw this at you. I was thinking about this yesterday. I'm a big Bryson Stott guy. I was a big Bryson Stott guy going into last year.
Me too.
And he had a first half that wasn't terrible, but I had predicted for the second half, like, you're going to forget about the first half after he's done a second half, and that didn't happen. Bryson Stott not turning in or emerging and building on what he did the year before was a huge disappointment for the Phillies. They needed it. To your point, Stott has that kind of, he's such a baseball guy, and you love it. Bro, you need to come up and you need to be more productive. Just straight up, the lineup needs you. I feel good about Stott this year, Tyler. I don't know how you do, but still, like, this is like, here's how you win 92 games or 93 games and you win the World Series. Stott turns back into the guy that you thought he was going to turn into last year.
Yeah, I think so. The elbow injury, how real was, like, not how real was it? It was a real injury. How, like, important was it to his lack of success was true. Because you could see it. Guys just took him up the ladder in the second half of the year, and they did that in his rookie year because he doesn't swing a particularly hard bat. He's at like 67% on his average swing, velocity or whatever. Oh, I broke this down in this.
No, I think it's true. You can
I went full
see that.
nerd.
He's not a hard swinger.
Yeah, he doesn't swing very hard, and they just said, "Hey, we're going to take you up the ladder because you're not going to catch up to a high fastball." And the elbow didn't help that. I think if he's able to be the guy he was in 23, spread the ball to all fields. And the one thing he did really, really well in 23, didn't do well in 24, was hit with 2 strikes. He was really good with 2 strikes in 24. I think he had like 19 or 20 2-strike hits, which is crazy, especially buried deep in counts. And so if he can do that again, I think that's where you'll get the return to 2023. If you could be somewhere in between 23 and 24, that's a plus. If you could be 23, that's significant.
I think there's one guy in this lineup that if he makes like a star turn, maybe it doesn't even have to be like an all-star, but if he becomes a true everyday player, could give them that spark, it's Brandon Marsh.
Bro.
Because he's got the personality that the city knows him, loves him, the hair, the beard, the whole 9 yards. If he goes off in the first half of the season in like a, maybe not a Zach Bond type way, but where
Turns
you're
into
like,
a legitimate
yes,
above average.
Yes. I think that's the guy whose personality is like, rising tide lifts all shit. Like, he's that kind of guy.
Negative Johnny again.
So, John, here you go.
He's the big, and by the way, he's the self-admitted biggest Brandon Marsh hater in the city.
Huge.
You see what I'm
guy.
saying? That like from a personality, if we're just talking about
I
personality,
love the guy.
Everyone on the team is like this, is flatline. Bryce, Trey, Schwarber, Castellanos, all the same. Marsh, though, is young enough and has that, like, he's a little bit different, that if he becomes a star type player, I think that he can be the spark that sort of ignites the rest.
He's not going to be that.
I'm not saying that he
No,
will be.
but you're right. I'm telling you.
Anything can happen.
I was walking
around. It was a first round pick.
I was walking around Wegmans doing a little bit of shopping before I picked up the kids. I had like 15 minutes. And I was legitimately thinking this.
Milk,
like,
eggs?
Stott hurt him last year by not emerging, and Marsh not developing into an everyday player where you don't have to worry about it. He plays every day. Hurt him last year too. He didn't take a step up. And I look at Marsh and I'm like, he's probably a platoon plus player. He's probably forward at the bats. Can he stay healthy? He's got some pop. I love him. He's a great dude.
Yeah, it's awesome.
They need him to be a better player, and that could be the difference between it. I don't know. Did you have a stat,
so
Tyler?
here's to give you a further detail to go back to the Bryson Stott conversation for a little bit. This was Bryson Stott in 2023. You see that 82. Wow. I said 19 or 20. I don't know what I was thinking. He had 82 2-strike hits. His barrel rates were
Best
better
in the National League.
He was better against lefties than he was, last year and in 22. And then this is 24. All of those numbers regressed. And I think the elbow probably played a factor, but like all of the numbers came down.
He had the elbow. See, here's why he's also important. He brings an approach that some of the other guys don't.
Yes.
Castellanos, when Castellanos is bad, you could roll a bowling ball up there and he's going to swing at it. We've seen it. He's swinging at balls that are 8 feet outside the strike zone. Yeah. When he's hot, and you got to ride that. But like Harper's got a good approach at the plate. Schwarber is Schwarber. You know what I mean? Like the diversity of the at bats that they need. Stott works the count. Like I love his approach. He's just got to be more productive. Hopefully it was health. Hopefully it was health last year. All right, more Phillies coming up. Also, so we have the gallon of questions.
Yes.
All right, and I already took one. So you say the better parade was 2025. When you can't say 2008 because you weren't.
No.
You were still in Westchester in 2008?
Funny story about 2008 real quick is it ended inside Citizens Bank Park.
Yes.
And you could get tickets. And so, 4 tickets a person or whatever it was. Well, I keep hitting on it, and the printer keeps printing out tickets to inside the stadium. I ended up with 50 tickets. All of my friends, all of my family, we all partied in the parking lot and then all went inside and
wouldn't
watched the end of the. I was giving them out. I was selling them.
Yeah, why wouldn't
It
you?
was amazing. Like,
wanted
why
to
does
go,
this keep
why-
printing a different ticket every time? 50 tickets I ended up with.
Well,
Don't tell anyone.
that was a hell of a parade. But
I think you've passed the statute of limitations. You're good
That's a
now.
long time ago.
gallon of questions and more. And Tyler and I have selected, if you're looking for Walter Cronkite, Peter Jennings type journalism, Pat Gallen's
Here it
finest
is.
work is coming up right after this. Don't go anywhere. Philly, John Marks, 2-2. All right, listen. Can you actually, is it possible for you to get a shot of Pat right now? Just a single shot. Look at the hair, man. That's not Glatt. Have you been to Glatt?
I have not.
I have friends in the business that have been to Glatt. and I
Oh,
just don't-
really?
Yep.
No. This is all natural.
Locally
Not
and
taking anything
nationally.
away from Dr. Glatt. Love him.
Listen, you got good hair. Look at the volume you have in there. Is that shampoo driven or what?
I washed it last night. Today I used the Verb, and then I put a little wax in my hand and just
Oh, so it's
rub it
waxed.
over.
All right. Well, listen, if you want to have great hair discussions like this, very manly of us, then you got to get the Glatt hair restoration. No, for real. If you're thinning and balding and you're like, well, this sucks, you can shave your head. That looks perfectly fine. But if you want to keep your hair, you want to stop the shedding and the balding, Glatt Hair Restoration are the experts in the industry. Over 30 years in hair restoration. That's all they do. It's by far the most experienced office in the entire Delaware Valley. And they're pretty much the best hair business in the entire country. People come from all over when they want to get hair restoration done. But also, it's not just about restoration. It's about innovation. Like when I'm talking about, I got hair restoration. Look at the results. Look amazing. But you're starting to go bald, you're thinning, you're shedding, it may not have to get to a point. You can reduce, slow, stop the balding and the shedding. It's the maintenance stage of hair loss, right? Like it's not all just about restoration. If you want more information, you can reach out to me. Slide into my DMs. They're always wide open. Any questions? I have pictures, before and after pictures. I have pictures the day I had the procedure done. I can really answer any question. Or you can check out their website, glatthairmm.com. glatthairmm.com, or call and text their office. You can text them 610-980-4000. 610-980-4000, glatthairmm.com. All right, listen. Oh, man, tomorrow night they're back. And we'll have to hear, I heard Pat's bracket last night on the news. He was giving his black, because, oh, did your bracket get busted, Pat?
Did yours?
I don't do a bracket.
Oh my!
Are you surprised? I don't
You
do
are so miserable. You are so miserable. Unbelievable.
that?
No, it does not surprise me.
We'll discuss. But listen, bet futures right now. Check this out. $25 on Duke will pay you $50. $25 on Florida pays $68.75. $20 on Houston, $112.50. Auburn, $125. Tennessee, $360. And listen, maybe you're a mush and you don't win anything. There's another way to win on the BetParx app. How about this? Blackjack, roulette with live dealers, live dealer poker, and hot online slots. Give Pat Gallen a pack of cigarettes and put him in front of a slot machine. Rocky, Ted, Goonies, these are all online. Breaking Bad, some of your favorite classic casino games from wherever you are. New users get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Go to betparx.com. You can download the app right now and enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. You must be 21 and in PA, New Jersey, or Michigan for the BetParx app. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. And if you're looking for a really awesome place to watch, like the tournament was awesome at Parx because you can see everything that's going on. Saturday afternoon, they had, and we're back, Philly with John Marks. They had, what did they have? They had, the Flyers were on, the Calipari Patino game was on.
That was a fun game.
The game that UConn was up by 90 over Alabama State, the women's game, it was like 90-12 at one point. Yeah, so it was awesome. It was a great place to watch.
Blast.
It's a blast. All right, so Pat, before we get to the gallon of questions, we have a new thing that we do at this time.
This is exciting.
It is. It's called the Parlay of the Day with BetParx. People will start to get hang of it and they'll say it with us. I'll get Tyler saying
You
it.
have people
It's
on
the
the street
parlay.
coming up to you. Of the day.
It's the second day we're doing it. So we debuted it yesterday. Tyler gets a leg of a parlay.
Okay.
I get the leg of a parlay. Of course, it's brought to you by BetParx. and the BetParks app and Parks Casino. Get to the BetParks app right now and wager on all these games. So yesterday, I picked Chattanooga to win outright in the NIT over, who were they playing? Bradley maybe? Or
Yeah, it was Bradley.
nailed it.
Nailed it. You're right on.
I liked saying Chattanooga. That's why I
That's
picked them.
why
They
I
were
picked
underdogs too, so it was a pretty good payout. Now, Tyler, meanwhile, went to the NHL and he lost it. So we didn't get the parlay.
Yeah, and Pat, we do this thing, right? And I go, I'm picking this game, and here's the analytics as to why, and I got all these
spent 5 minutes
numbers
telling
and
me why
blah
he
blah
was picking
blah.
the Rangers or
And John goes, I'm picking Chattanooga because I like saying it. Take a guess who won. Yeah, not a surprise, right?
So we're down
How it
100.
goes.
Down 100, Pat.
Okay.
But we're coming back hot and heavy today.
Strong.
I'm going Loyola Chicago in the NIT, minus 5.5 against Kent State. If you're thinking about college basketball, let's get it in your mind. Maybe you're thinking about, like, you're from Northeast Philly. So you're thinking like a street game somewhere in Northeast Philly. Who you taking? Loyola Chicago or Kent State?
Yeah, I'm going with Loyola Chicago there.
Every time. Minus 5.5. They cover as well. So I'm taking Loyola
And what's
Chicago.
what's the nun's name from Loyola Chicago?
It's Sister Jean.
Sister Jean. She's like 105 years old. You gotta go with Sister Jean.
Kent State's going to beat Sister Jean? I think not. Loyola Chicago minus 5.5. Tyler, what's your leg? Get it right
Yeah,
tonight.
I'm going. Yeah, we'll see about that. I'm going right back to the NHL. Right, if first you don't succeed, try again or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Devils and Blackhawks game tonight. The over/under is 5.5. I'm going to take the over 5.5. 8 out of the last 9 home games for the Blackhawks, they've hit the over because the Blackhawks give up 7 billion goals this year. In their last 6 games, they've given up 4, 6, 6, 4, and 4 in a win. They haven't had a lot of success scoring recently, except for when they played the Flyers the other night. But I think if they're giving up on average about 3.5, 4 goals a night, I can get 2 somewhere from them. If I can get a 4-3 game, I think that'll cover easy. I'm going to take the over in the Devils Blackhawks game at 5.5. Seems a little bit low for a team that gives up as many goals as they do, but the Devils don't give up a lot of goals themselves, so maybe that balances out. I'm hoping for a 4-3, 4-2 type of game, but I'm going to take the over in that one.
All right. By the way, I wrote that analysis for him. He does not know that about hockey. I do.
Yeah, you're
He performed it very
You're a
well.
big hockey guy.
You're the biggest hockey fan I've ever met.
100 units wins $274. So if we win tonight, we're back up and then some.
I've always said John Marks, big ice guy. Big
Well,
hockey guy.
if the Flyers were good, I would watch them. They're not. Weren't they supposed to be
tough
better this
watch.
year? Like you're going to
it's
call me
tough watch.
negative.
about that one, you're
Mitchkov is very good.
you're
but
dead on about that one.
and by the way, I don't do a bracket because I don't know anything about college basketball, and I'm not going to waste my time just picking chalk.
What
or
does it
picking
matter?
A
You bet
5-12.
Chattanooga last night. You don't know anything about them.
I don't. Well, I read the line and I
Like a
was
bracket, you
I was dead. I
old
don't
man.
know. It doesn't bring me joy. Not many things in life bring me joy, Pat. And a bracket doesn't bring me joy. Watching other people crumble brings me
See?
joy sometimes.
Sick.
All right, so real fast, Fit Dad CEO was out there. Really lively
guy,
chat
Dave.
today. So shout out to the chatters today, our 8 a.m.ers. Good Phillies discussion today. See, Pete, tell you, Gilio woke up Phillies fans in the Delaware Valley. I got a text.
Not
on
because
that.
I showed up. You're not saying.
Well, you
anything.
did too. Well-
no, that's not.
You're a Philly guy and you're a Phillies fan, so I knew that we would have, between the three of us, have a good discussion this morning with the Phillies.
I'm excited. I'm excited about baseball season because it's a long summer, man. And,
Yep.
You know, football will be back before we know it, but it's nice to have that relaxing
I-
lead into football season.
I listen on the radio and I have both on at the same time. I have the TV on mute
Heck
if
yeah.
I'm doing the dishes, and I'll have the
Best.
radio
on.
And then if I'm sitting down, I have the TV on. I love Tom, love Crucker, love Scott in LA. So yeah, Fit Dad CEO, we got to get you in studio too, dude. I don't
Had
know
him
if
on
you're
my
still
show.
watching out there. Yeah. I saw. He's
Dave's
been
the
on
best.
Preston and Steve.
Yeah,
No,
he's the best.
I love him. He's awesome. It's awesome. All right, so it's time for the Gallon of Questions. First of all, tell us about your show, your TV show, Gallon of Questions. When can we see it?
It's called A Gallon of Questions because my last name is Gallon. It is Saturday nights on Philly 57. And we have some great guests each week talking about basically whatever we want, whatever the hot topic is. Last week I had EJ Smith on. This week,
Saw that.
coming in today, the great Dominic Brown.
Dom, who's
Former
running
Phillies
baseball
All-Star.
academies up in
Doing
King of
Baseball
Prussia.
Academy in KOP. So he's coming in today. Had Phil Martelli in recently,
Saw that.
Fran Dunphy. So we do some cool stuff. But what
Yeah,
I do
Joe
is
Paterno. No, he wasn't.
ghost stuff. First guest actually was Dick Vermeil. brought in the coat.
I
gold
love
jacket.
Dick Vermeil. He's awesome.
the best.
You've had Merrill.
Merrill.
Gallon of questions. You had me in there, of course.
Had you a couple of times.
Yeah, it's fun. All right, so the idea is outside of it's like think Roy Firestone, but Philly style in 2015.
Exactly.
But then
like you said, Walter Cronkite. I think this is what he did back in
but
1964.
it's a fun show. You do a great job of it.
Thank you. Yeah, so pick there's just random stuff in there. It could be anything, and that's what I love about it is that you never know what direction you're going to go.
It initiates conversation.
It does.
Tyler, we need your input on this as well.
Okay.
Gallon of questions with John Marks.
If you could only wear one throwback Phillies jersey forever, which player jersey style would it be? Well, I have mine, and I wear it. But do I need to come up with a different answer?
No, what is it?
Steve Jeltz, 1986 Phillies powder blue.
It's a beautiful one.
And it's signed by Steve Jeltz. It's his rookie year.
Oh.
So it's a different number. So I've had people accuse me, like, you're like, no, this is his rookie year when he wore
That's
a
a
different
deep
number.
cut. See, that's what I was looking
15.
for. That's a deep cut. Tyler, what about you, man?
Yeah, I think the easy one is the powder blue Mike Schmidt.
Yeah.
But the powder blue Steve Carlton works too. I mean, you go with any of those guys. I think that's probably the play. I think that's probably where I would go.
I'm not a big jersey wearer, but the one that I would love to get is the late 80s. Mitchell and Ness actually just came out with them again with the big P on the one side of the chest and the numbers on the other. I'd love to get a Dutch.
I don't think that's mid 80s.
It's late 80s, right?
Is it
Early
late
90s? It was like 89, 90,
With
91.
the number on it?
Yeah, didn't it have the number on one side and the P on the other?
I got to look at
that's what it was
my
like.
Jeltz jersey.
Yeah,
And
the Jeltz jersey's awesome.
but I love the
You and Steve Jeltz's mom, the two people who own
Steve-
Steve
It just
Jeltz
looks
jersey.
good on the back.
Steve Jeltz.
Well, I'm gonna know it's you if I see you in the ballpark and see a Steve Jeltz jersey. Well, John Marks is here.
And believe me, people yell. They see me like that, and they yell because I always wear it. But Jeltzy was just down in Clearwater, for Dutch's Foundation, down in Dalton Foundation. He has his celebrity bartending. They do it up here, and then they do it down there. They did it at whatever the hell it's called now. What's it called down in Clearwater? Yeah, Baycare. And Jeltzy was down there for it.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
Cindy Webster always sends me a video of him saying hi to me.
over the last couple of years, I've kept a list of all the jerseys I've seen at the ballpark.
You put him out. It's amazing.
And people send me, I've gotten hundreds of
You had a Matt
tweets or
Caesar
whatever.
one not long ago that we
Oh my
played
God,
on.
yeah. And I actually,
show.
so I know Matt, and I text him. I said, where did this come from? He said he sold it to that guy. It was the one jersey he had from the Phillies because he played in one spring training game,
Is that it?
and he sold that jersey.
Mike Mayock loved Matt Caesar, wanted him to
awesome.
play football. He just would have never stayed
He's a
healthy.
madman.
I wish he would have played. He had a pretty good career. Made some money.
Hell of an athlete.
Unbelievable. All right. What do we got here? Start, bench, cut. KFC, Popeyes, Chick-fil-A. Start Chick-fil-A, bench KFC. And cut
Popeyes is your worst?
No, I'm cutting KFC and I'm benching
cutting.
Popeyes. Chick-fil-A,
Is so good,
so good.
by far. Tyler, you a chicken guy?
I am starting Popeyes. I am benching Chick-fil-A, and I'm cutting KFC. I think the Popeyes chicken sandwich is better than.
Do you?
than
Yeah, but the rest of the
Chick-fil-A.
stuff sucks. Like
Fair.
Chick-fil-A nuggets.
Yeah, but if
and-
I'm going to a chicken sandwich place, I'm getting a chicken sandwich. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going in for a salad.
I still love KFC.
No,
back in the day,
nuggets
though.
and strips. You got it. Like, all right. So and you'll know this in a couple years. My kids aren't eating the Chick-fil-A sandwiches. They like the nuggets
Yeah,
or
they
the
like
whatever.
the nuggets.
And the waffle fries are elite. I don't even want to put them in
really
the same category as the burger fry places.
It's
Because I
different.
love McDonald's fries. But go to a Chick-fil-A during lunch or dinner and go to a McDonald's. There'll be two people in McDonald's. Chick-fil-A, I don't know how
I
they
know.
do it, man.
Every day.
You want a good Chick-fil-A story real quick?
Yeah.
So I'm in Chick-fil-A picking up food because I refuse to get a DoorDash because I'm cheap. And it's totally packed. And this dude goes, "Are you Johnny Marks?" And the place is completely packed. He was a DoorDash driver.
It's awesome.
And like I'm some low-level unemployed sports radio host. And everybody stops and looks at me and I'm
That
like,
is
"Oh my
John
God."
Marks.
Like, what's up, dude?
Oh,
Go
this is
ahead.
a good one for you. Would you rather do yoga, Pilates, or cardio?
Oh, cardio for sure.
Really?
I do I have Orange Theory today at
Oh,
12
do you
o'clock.
really?
Oh, yeah,
Look at
dude.
you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't
2 a
know
week.
that.
2 a week.
How's that going for you?
Oh, it's awesome. I love it.
You love it?
Oh, I love
I
it,
wouldn't
man.
take it for a cardio guy.
It's not
Wouldn't
strict
take it for
cardio,
a
though.
Pilates guy either, but
I can't do it, man. No way. I want nothing to do with yoga or Pilates. No, I don't necessarily want to go out and run, But the Orange Theory is a combination of rowing, lifting, and running.
Yeah.
And it's like 55 minutes of pure hell.
It is.
And
yeah.
you burn 800
Done it
calories
once.
or whatever. Yeah, no, it's awesome.
It's a mess.
It's awesome.
Want to do another one?
Yeah, we got time.
Keep going.
I'm
I'm a yoga
You
guy,
do hot
John.
yoga.
I'm a
No, I
yoga
know.
guy.
I
love
saw
yoga.
you. Rank them. Brandon Graham's laugh. AJ Brown's love of books. Landon Dickerson's riding mower appreciation. I'm going to let you answer this first. Mine, this is easy for
BG's
me.
laugh
It's the best
is the
ever.
best.
So Brandon,
you could not see him and you hear it and you're like, I know who that is.
but he makes you smile.
Yes, he
and if
does.
you've ever spent time around him, there's an innocence about him that is like it's so great because he's just such a genuinely
Yes.
like good dude. He's such a great dad.
He is.
They would come back from from like Sunday Night Football on the West Coast, and he would go right home and get the kids ready for school and take them off to school, knowing that he still had stuff to do
Yeah.
that day. That's just the kind of guy.
You got
that
a
he
chance
is.
to
But
work with him for a
7
long time.
seasons.
Long time. He's the
Brandon's
best.
a great guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like I'm anti-Landon Dickerson, and like the AJ Brown love
there's
of
no
books thing
anti-anything.
is like I don't know, like AJ Brown's book thing was cool, and I love Landon's awesome.
I'm a book guy, so I would put AJ Brown second. I don't have a lawn. I don't have grass.
You
'cause I live in South Philly, so I don't need the riding mower.
Oh, I got the zero cut.
Do you?
Oh, I
You're
got
a-
year 2 of the zero cut, brother. I can
are
like
truly
so
a
for a while I did push
suburbanite.
mower. It would take me 2 hours to do my whole lawn because I have a pretty big lawn.
Yeah.
The push mower with weed whacking and everything, I'm done in like 45 minutes,
Look at you.
and I enjoy it every time.
Yeah, you do. It's probably nice and relaxing, right? You get
a
out
good one.
there, you put the headphones on, and
I actually put earplugs because it's damaging
It's
and
so loud.
And I'm half deaf right now from working in radio.
can you hear me?
All right, last one, and then we have to.
We have to go.
Well, I want to play your video. All right,
Pick a good one. will
Biggest question mark the Phillies need to answer this season.
you? Ooh.
Kind of what
Perfect
we
way
were,
to
we
go
were
out
talking about. You know what? I'll say this: if Bryson Stott emerges into an all-star, that's how the Phillies win. They need a bat to step up. We thought it was going to be Trey Turner, and I think Bryson Stott is the one guy that you can be like, wow, like he had a really good season because the other guys are good. Schwarber's an amazing player.
Yeah.
Bryce is a great player, right? Like, and it makes the most sense for Stott to be the guy that takes that step.
I think the one question mark they've got to figure out is the bullpen. Because if one guy goes down, like if Strom misses length,
Do not feel
of
good about
time, or if
Strom starting the
Alvarado,
season.
that's not good. I'm not loving the back end right now. We'll see. That could change. But
They
I
gotta
don't
figure
love
that
the
out
depth
in
there.
season.
Yeah, they do.
They do. All right. So if you haven't seen Pat tonight, he's live at 4-5 and 11,
4, 5, and 6.
4, 5 and 6. so not 11.
CBS Philadelphia.
Yep, check him out with Yuki. And who's riding with Yuki these days?
It's Yuki and Natasha Brown.
Natasha. All right. She was working last night. I saw your
Yep.
you did your bracket last night.
Yep.
But yeah, so here's Pat. This is journalism at its finest. Here's Pat Gallen. Because you get into March Madness, you're looking for the feel-good tournaments, right? And the feel-good stories. Here's Pat during a recent news.
Not the kind you're thinking of. I'm Pat Gallen here, wrestling with the University of Pennsylvania ahead of the championships this weekend in Philly. Let's go.
Hard-hitting journalism. Literally.
It's March Madness.
Shout out to everybody watching on TV, Xfinity, Roku, maybe Samsung Plus.
My neck hurt for about 48 hours after that.
All phly.com to watch the rest of the program. Yeah, that was perfect. It's time for overtime, Pat.
How long do we go? Was it 5 minutes of overtime?
It's whenever I
that's
say
cool.
goodbye. Yeah. Yeah, so
My
that,
neck
I mean
was
that's
killing me
the
after that. That's what I do, though. Sometimes.
So from
much.
there, you do like a 3-minute piece that you have to produce. Because when
Yeah.
was this? When was the wrestling tournament in Philly?
That was last week.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
So I
recent.
shot that on Monday, and then then we ran a piece on Wednesday or Thursday about the NCAA championships being here in Philly. So went out, talked to some of the guys from Penn, put a story together. You get a minute and a half, 2 minutes, sometimes a little bit more to put it together. So that's what I did.
It's all they got time
week.
for sports these days is kind of a couple quick.
Yeah, if we have
quick
like a
hits.
really great story, they'll give me 3 minutes or whatever, which for TV news is a long time.
Yeah, but it's harder to do 2 minutes to produce a 2-minute bit probably than a 3 or 4 minute bit because there's stuff that you like that you want to get in there, but
Yeah.
it's hard to sometimes. I mean, if it's good stuff, it's hard to force
Yeah,
it in.
sometimes you're like at the end, you're like, this is 5 minutes long. This is never going to fly.
and you can't do
you gotta
it.
cut it down.
So for you do the 4, 5, and 6 tonight. What time do you get in? Because I'm fascinated by this because I've never thought about doing it. What time do you get in, and like how much preparing do you do?
Yeah, so for tonight, with it being 4, 5, and 6, I'll go back in around, because I'm basically working like an 11 to 7 shift. But today's a little bit different because I also have the Dominic Brown interview who's coming in to do my show. So today's a longer day because
you gotta do
I gotta
that.
put that show together that will run on Saturday night on Philly 57. And then I'll do the news programs at 4, 5, and 6. And we have this cool setup. We call it CBS Center Court. We have this amazing virtual reality studio.
Yeah,
It's
it
just a
looks
big
really
green
cool.
room, but we can do some really cool stuff with it. So we've been doing a lot with that and the tournament, and then we got all the regular stuff going on too.
All right, so Tyler, judge me on this because I'm gonna act like I'm Yuki tonight, and I'm throwing it over to Pat. And so what's the lead for tonight doing sports? It's probably Philly's opening
Philly's
day.
opening day, I would think, right?
I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know if you preview the Sixers or like do the Sixers even play? I don't even know. I don't pay attention.
They play tonight?
I'm out on it. But all right, so let me try to be
Okay.
like, all right, and coming up next, our own Pat Gallen, Philly's opening day tomorrow. What's the outlook on the season? We'll talk to Pat.
Yuki, we are about 24 hours away from opening day. Phillies Nationals down in Washington, D.C. Zach Wheeler on the mound. And as you spoke about a little bit earlier, the vibes
All
maybe
right,
not
thank
high.
you, Pat. Let's get to weather again
sorry.
because it's going to be chilly tonight. Sorry.
That's the way it goes.
I know.
That's it right there. You
I
never
know.
wanted to be a news anchor?
Never. One time you told me that you wanted to, like, your dream was to be like kind of a sports center anchor.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, like I never wanted to do that. And it's like, you're able to do what you do and be great at it because it's something that, like with me, I used to leave for school and I would tell my mom, flip over the cassette and record Howard Stern so I can listen to it when I get home,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
I never, and not that I didn't watch SportsCenter, but I just wouldn't be good at it. When I did updates at the Fanatic when I was young, it was before the Fanatic, when it was 950.
Yeah. PEN.
Yeah, like I'm doing a serviceable update because I understand the structure of it and it's easy to write. I'm giving you a B update. But like I'll never sound like Brian Seltzer or like a true new like you.
Zelts.
Yeah, like you, like it's hey, I'm Pat Gallen, blah 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 blah. Like you, like you're a natural at it.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I had to work at it, obviously, but I always wanted to do this and I always knew I would. So
But you're also you're a
worked
true
out.
you're a true TV personality too. You're not just reading the prompt.
well, I hope I'm not like I try to be me.
Right.
And
Yeah, you
I
are.
hope that comes through to the audience. I think it does because I've been doing it for 10 years now. So
Yeah, very genuine.
thank you.
Well, congratulations on all your success.
I appreciate that.
Who's the traffic anchor right now for CBS?
We have Kim Hudson in the morning.
All right.
It was Chandler for a while. Chandler had a
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, you
Chandler
worked
had a
with Chandler
baby.
when
I
you
worked
worked
with
in
Chandler. Yeah. She had a baby, so she was out for a while. So Kim Hudson came in.
Because I mean, when your schedule changes, then it's the same thing with radio listening, right? Like right now, I listen to a national overnight show because I get up at roughly 4:15, 4:30 every morning. Once I stop, if I ever stop working mornings, I won't be listening to that show anymore.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I used to watch you in the mornings when you did mornings, but
The craziest thing about like I work weekend, so I anchor weekend nights, and then I work day side Monday through Wednesday. I have off Thursday and Friday right now, and then that changes during football season. I have off Monday and Tuesday. It's chaos. And then with 2 kids, when you throw that into the mix,
yeah, you have 2 young kids.
it's a little bit nuts.
Which is why I feel bad trying to get you in here because I know you're working this and like,
No, but I'm glad. I like to do this.
well,
I'm gonna try to do it as often as I can,
yeah, all right.
as often as you'll have me.
The trials and tribulations of a TV
Pat
news
Gallen.
personality, Pat Gallen.
Do you know that back in when we used to work with Mike Gill, there was a guy who
Atlantic
thought
City.
there was a guy who would call in who thought my name was Pac Allen, not Pat Gallen. He's like, this whole time I thought your name was Pac.
Pat Gallen, I can see how
Yeah,
it
right?
bleeds into each other.
Yeah, dude, really common name. I
Yeah,
see a
Pac
lot of
Allen.
Pacs
Everybody's got
around, you know.
Well, it's your radio name, right? Here's Pat Gallen. I bet if you analyzed the audio of that, if you put it in
That's- yeah, that's
Adobe Audition, it would bleed into each other. It wouldn't be a clean cut.
I should have gone with that as my stage name.
You
Pac
actually look like
Allen.
a pack. It would totally work for you. You could pull it off.
Let's go.
All right, buddy. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
And
man.
because you got the call to the bullpen while we were about to go on the air, so you weren't supposed to come in and do it this morning and then go anchor all the news.
Yeah.
Heavy lifting today. For Pat.
Don Bell's our sports director, and he normally would do those shows, but
Love Don.
he's out. And so I jump in. Normally Wednesday, like I said, I would do my show, which is Dominic Brown this week. But duty calls. Jump in.
All right, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in. 8 to 9 a.m. live every day. Philly with John Marks. You can watch it whenever and wherever. Well, I guess if wherever if you have a phone or a computer. YouTube. Just subscribe, like, comment. If you're not watching this live, please comment on the episode so we get a feel for what
Some
everybody's
great comments
talking.
today too.
Yeah. Oh man, we had a lively chat today, so that's we had a good show today, a good conversation. And did you know, Pat? You can also listen to the audio only podcast. So when you get on are you a runner? Do you like to go for a nice run?
No, not a runner.
Yeah, it is.
No thanks.
No, thank you. Well, I mean,
But I will listen.
but you like doing. You'll do some lower half work. You do the leg squats.
Yeah.
Work the shoulders. All right, well,
morning,
just get the audio only podcast. Just search Philly with John Marks wherever you get your podcast. Rate and review. Give us a 5-star review. We appreciate that. Back tomorrow live at 8 a.m. Anthony's live right now. Switch on over to him. See ya.
We all silly like the mayor.